संसारदावा नललीडलोका त्रणाय कारुण्यघनघनात्वम् प्राप्तस्य कल्याणगुणनवस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् महाप्रभु कीर्तन नित्य गीता वादित्रमाद्यान् मनसो रसेना रोमाञ्चकम्पाश्रुतरङ्गबाजो वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् श्रीविग्रहाराधननित्यनाना शृङ्गारतन्मन्दिरमर्जनादो युक्तस्य भक्तां शनिञ्जतोऽपि वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् चतुर्विध श्रीभगवत्प्रसाद स्वदन्न तृप्तान् हरिभक्तसङ्गान् कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजतः सदैव वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् श्रीराधिका माधवयोरपारा माधुर्यलीला गुणरूपनाम्नाम् प्रतिक्षणा स्वादनलोलुपस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् निकुञ्जयूनो रतिकेलिसीद्यै यायालिभिर्युक्तिरपेक्षणीया तत्रातिदाक्षादधिवल्लभस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् साक्षादरित्वेना समस्तशास्त्रैरुक्तस्तथा भाव्यत एव साध्वी किन्तु प्रभुर्यः प्रियेव तस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादात् न गति कुतोऽपि ध्यायन्तु वंस्तस्य यशस्विसन्ध्यं वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Shri Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Sudarshana Jaya Sita Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram Jaya Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Jai Shnupad Brahmamsa Pajaka Chaya Shtota Shata Shishma This Divine Grace Abharchana Vrinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON BBT BI Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Shnupad Brahmamsa Pajaka Chaya Shtota Shata Shishma This Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Premisika Ho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Dadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Shri Purushottam Chaitra Jagnapuri Dham Ki Jai Shri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Samavrita Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Harinama Sankirtana Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada Lada Daini. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Shilatanka nakalaye. Ito Narasimha Parato Simha. Yato yato yami tato Narasimha. Pahe Narasimho Hridaye Simho. Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade. Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shringa Talita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Narasimha Dev Jayo, Narasimha Dev Jayo, Narasimha Dev Jayo, Narasimha Dev. Jayo Bhakta Prahlad Jayo, Bhakta Prahlad Jayo, Bhakta Prahlad Jayo, Bhakta Prahlad. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय।
तुलसी कृष्ण प्रियासी नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्ण प्रियासी नमो नमः। राधा कृष्ण सेवा पावो यही अभिलाषी। राधा कृष्ण सेवा पावो यही अभिलाषी। तुलसी कृष्ण प्रियासी नमो नमः। जे तुम्हारा शरण लोवे तारा वांछ पूर्ण होए। कृपाहु कोरी कोरा तारे वृंदावन वासी। कृपाहु कोरी कोरा तारे वृंदावन वासी। तुलसी कृष्ण प्रियासी नमो नमः। मोर विलास कुंज दियो नायन हेरी बहसादया युगा रोपरासी। नायन हेरी बहसादा युगा रोपरासी। तुलसी कृष्ण प्रियासी नमो नमः। निवेदन धारुं सखी अनुगाता करुं। ये निवेदन धारुं सखी अनुगाता करुं। सेवयाधिकार दीज करण्यदासी। सेवयाधिकार दीज करण्यदासी। तुलसी कृष्ण प्रियासी नमो नमः। दीन कृष्ण दास कोई यही जैन मोरा होवे। Shri Radha Govinda Prema Sada Janavasi. Shri Radha Govinda Prema Sada Janavasi. Tulasi Kedna Piyasi Purnamaham. Ani kani apapani Brahmahatadi kani cham Tani tani padakshiyante padakshiner pade padem Apapani Brahmahatadi kani cham Tani tani padakshiyante padakshiner pade pade Apapani Brahmahatadi kani cham Nitani padakshyanti padakshiner pade pade He anikani apapani Brahmahate kani chahe tani tani pasyanti padakshiner pade pade He anikani apapani Brahmahate kani chahe tani tani pasyanti padakshiner pade pade Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी Jai Gora Hari Bol, Nitya Gora Hari Bol. Bol Nitya Gora Hari Bol, Nitya Gora Hari Bol. विंदाय तुलसी देवी आय प्रियाय के सोचा विष्णु भक्ति पड़ देवी सद्वतायु नमो नमः विंदाय तुलसी देवी आय प्रियाय के सोचा विष्णु भक्ति पद देवी सद्वतायु नमो नमः विंदाय तुलसी देवी आय प्रियाय के सोचा विष्णु भक्ति पदे देवी सद्वतायु नमो नमः श्रीमती तुलसी देवी महारानी विंद देवी की गौर भक्त बिंद की गौर प्रणवानंद
My desire also grant me residence in the precious grove of Shiva and Davanatam. Thus within my vision shall behold the beautiful paths of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower, call her dance of the Virgin. Please give me the privilege of devotional service and make me your own maid servant. This very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna prays. May I always swim in the love, Shishi Radha and Govind, Srimati Tulasi Maharani ki jai. There are 10 fancies in the matter of chanting holy name that should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who dedicate their life propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of the demigods, Lord Shiva or Brahma, to be equal to independent name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature pursuant to Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna as imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting the holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna one of our special ritualistic activities, offering the Veda the fruity activities, Karma Ganda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glorious holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments in understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee claims the Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success. Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just as I trees who can fulfill to everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Jeto Darpana Marjanam Pava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shriya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Eta Tuishi Tava Kripa Bhagavam Mamapi Durudevami Disham Iha Janina Nurakaha Trinatapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadaharihi Na Dhanam, Na Janam, Na Sundarim, Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamaye, Mama Jammani Jammanishvare, Bhavata Bhaktir Haituki Tavai, Ayinanda Tanuja Kinkaram, Patitam Man Vishame Bhavam Buddha, Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthita Dhuri Satvishan Vichintaya, Nayanam Galadashru Dharaya, Vadanam Katkata Rudaya Gira, Pulakai Nichitam Bapo Kada Tavanama Grahane Pavishyati Yuga Itam Nimishena Chakshusha Pravisha Itam Shunya Itam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahe Name Ashrishava Padaratam Pinnastumam Atarshanam Marmhatam Karotuva Yatha Tatha Vitatatu Lampato Matprana Nathastu Saeva Naparaha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes fire of conditional life, repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction of humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone grants all benediction to human beings. Thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, our kindness enables us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I'm so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Sahamarnanda Krishna, I'm an eternal servitor, yet somehow I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of Adam's lotus feet. O my Lord, while my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name, while my voice choke up, or its hairs my body stand and end at the recitation of your name. O Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considered a moment to be like a great millennium. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Shri Mangala Charna prayers ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragnatang Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savatutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pachatyate Shatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanevi Devi Daitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhavin Namaha Madhuryo Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipalamba Rasam Bodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virabhava Bhumistvam Nirdishta Sajanapriyaha Vaishnava Sara Bhauma Shri Jaganathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Svarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Srato Pangoro Mama Manda Mater Kati Masarva Swapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vindaranya Kalpadyumadash Shrimad Ranagara Singhasanasto Shrimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtari Bi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasa Rasarambi Vam Shiva Tata Stitaha Karsham Venu Soner Gopir Gopinatha Shriyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Mangala Charana prayers ki jai. Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadhiradhya Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satmasuka Praviksha Lakshariteshu Surabhi Rabi Balayantam Lakshmi Sahasa Shatasam Parmasevyamanam Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Venum Kavanantam Aravinda Dalayadaksham Parhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Gantarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandakala Savanamare Vamshi Ranangadam Pranayakeli Kalavilasam Shamam Tipanga Lalitam Yata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalinti Avridimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chimmaya Satujala Vigrahasya Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Advaitam Achotam Anadi Mananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakta Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Pantastu Koti Shatavassara Sampragamyo Vayuratapi Manaso Muni Pangavanam Sopyasti Yapapada Simya Vichinta Tatve Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ekopya Sarachayitum Jakatanta Kotim Yachakti Rasti Jakatanta Chayaya Tantaha Antantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Yad Bhava Bhavtatiyo Manujasthateva Samprapya Rupa Mahimasana Yana Pushaha Suktayam Eva Nigama Patitai Stuvanti Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ananda Chimmerasa Patibhavitabis Tapiya Evan Jarupa Taya Kalabihi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Premanjana Churuta Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hitayeshu Levilokyanti Yam Shama Sundam Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ramadi Murtishu Kalanya Mena Tishtan Nana Vatarama Karod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhava Parama Pumamyo Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami. Krishna, who is Govinda, is the Supreme Godhead. He has an eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin and the prime cause of all causes.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
I worship Govinda, the primary Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute, with blooming eyes and lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cubits.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers, beautified with the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with the flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending form of Shama Sundara is eternally manifest.
I worship Govinda, the primary Lord, whose transcendent form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendent figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs, and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas but obtainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay. He is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha. Yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
I worship Govinda, the primary Lord. Only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis, who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling their respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane, extending over thousands of millions of years.
I worship is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primal Lord whom I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primary Lord, in whose praise men, who are imbued with devotion, sing the mantra suktas told by the Vedas by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveniences, and ornaments.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities in the company of her confidant Sakhi's embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shyamasundar, Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in the heart of hearts with the eye of devotion, tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the forms of Rama, Nrsimha, Vamana, etc. as a subjective portions. Sri Brahma Samhita ki jai. Bhagavad Gita 7.1 purport. Shrinvatam swakata Krishna punya sravana kirtanaha hridayanta hi sohi abhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam nasta prayesva abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhasdayaschaye cheta eter anavedam sitam satve prasidati एवं प्रसन्न मनसो भगवद् भक्ति योगतः भगवत् तत्व विज्ञानं मुक्त संगस्य जायते विद्यते हृदय ग्रन्थेश्चिद्यन्ते सर्व संशयाः क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि दृष्टा एवात्मनीश्वरे. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the signs of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the sage of Asamsayam Samagram, understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth, Personality of Godhead. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam 1.2.17 to 21. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna. Hare Krishna. We'll continue Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 31. Maitreya Uvacha Evam Hiranyaksham Asahya Vikramam Sa Sadayita Harir Adi Sukaraha Jagamalokam Swam Akanditostsavam Samiditaha Pushkara Vistaradibihi. Maitreya Uvacha, Sri Maitreya said, Evam, thus, Hiranyaksha, Asahya Vikramam, very powerful, Saha, the Lord, Sadayitya, after killing, Harihi, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Adi Sukaraha, the origin of the boar species, Jagama, returned, Lokam, to his abode, Swam, own, Akanditaha, Akandita, uninterrupted. Utsavam, festival, Samidaditaha, being praised. Pushkara Vistara, lotus seat, by Lord Brahma, whose seat is a lotus. Adibihi, and the others. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Ki Jai. Sri Maitreya continued, after thus killing the most formidable demon, Hiranyaksha, the Supreme Lord Hari, the origin of the boar species, returned to his own abode, where he is always an uninterrupted festival. The Lord was praised by all the demigods, headed by Brahma. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Ki Jai. The Lord is spoken of herewith as the origin of the boar species. As stated in the Vedanta Sutra 1.1.2, the absolute truth is the origin of everything. Therefore, it is to be understood that all 8.4 million species of bodily forms originate from the Lord, who is always Adi, or the beginning. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna addresses the Lord as Adhyam, or the original. Similarly, in the Brahma Samhita, the Lord is addressed as Adi Purusham, the original person. Indeed, in Bhagavad Gita 10.8, the Lord Himself declares, Mattaha sarvam pravartate, from me everything proceeds. In this situation, the Lord assumed the shape of a boar to kill the demon Hiranyaksha and pick up the earth from the Garbha ocean. Thus, he became Adi Sukara, the original boar. In the material world, a boar or pig is considered most abominable. But the Adi Sukara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was not treated as an ordinary boar. Even Lord Brahma and the other demigods praise the Lord's form as a boar. This verse confirms the statement in Bhagavad Gita that the Lord appears as He is from His transcendental abode for the sake of killing the miscreants and saving the devotees. By killing the demon Hiranyaksha, He fulfilled His promise to kill the demons and always protect the demigods headed by Brahma. The statement that the Lord returned to His own abode indicates that He has His own particular transcendental residence. Since He is full of all energies, He is all pervasive, in spite of His residing in Goloka Vrindavana, just as the sun, although situated in a particular place within the universe, is present by its sunshine throughout the universe. Although the Lord has His particular abode in which to reside, He is all pervasive. The impersonalists accept one aspect of the Lord's features, the all pervasive aspect, but they cannot understand His localized situation in His transcendental abode, where He always engages in fully transcendental pastimes. Especially mentioned in this verse is the word Akanditotsavam. Utsava means pleasure. Whenever some function takes place to express happiness, it is called Utsava. Utsava, the expression of complete happiness, is always present in the Vaikuntha Lokas, the abode of the Lord, who is worshipable even by demigods like Brahma, to say nothing of other less important entities such as human beings. The Lord descends from His abode to this world, and therefore He is called Avatara, which means one who descends. Sometimes Avatara is understood to refer to an incarnation who assumes a material form of flesh and bone, but actually Avatara refers to one who descends from higher regions. The Lord's abode is situated far above this material sky, and He descends from that higher position, thus He is called Avatara. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 32. Maya yatanuktam avadite hare krita vatsarasya sumitra chestitam yata hiranyaksha udara vikramo mahamrude kridanavan niraktraha. Maya, by me, yata, as, anuktam, told, avadi, as was explained, te, to you, hare, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, krita avatarasya, who assumed the incarnation, Sumitra, O dear Vidura, Chestitam, the activities, Yata, as, Hiranyaksha, Udara, very extensive, Vikramaha, prowess, Mahamride is a great fight, Kridanavat, like a plaything, Niraktraha, was killed. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Ki Jai. Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, I have explained to you the personality of Godhead's coming down as the first boar incarnation and killing in a great fight a demon of unprecedented prowess, as if he were just a plaything. This has been narrated by me as I heard it from my predecessor spiritual master. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Ki Jai. Here, the sage Maitreya admits that he explained the incident of the killing of Hiranyaksha by the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a straight narration. He did not manufacture anything or add interpretation, but explained whatever he had heard from his spiritual master. Thus, he accepted as bona fide the system of parampara or receiving the transcendental message in disciplic succession. Unless received by this bona fide process of hearing from the spiritual master, the statement of an acharya or preceptor cannot be valid. It is also stated here that although the demon Hiranyaksha was unlimited in prowess, he was just like a doll for the Lord. A child breaks so many dolls without real endeavor. Similarly, although a demon may be very powerful and extraordinary in the eyes of an ordinary man in the material world, to the Lord, killing such a demon is no difficulty. He can kill millions of demons as simply as a child plays with dolls and breaks them. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 33. Suta Uvacha Iti Kausaravakhyatam Asrutya Bhagavat Katham Sattanandam Param Lebhe Mahabhagavato Dvija. Suta Goswami Uvacha said, Iti thus, Kausarava from Maitreya, son of Kusaru, Akyatam told, Asrutya having heard, Bhagavat Katham, the narration of the Lord, Kshatta, Vidura, Anandam, bliss, Param, transcendental, Lebhe, achieved, Mahabhagavataha, the great devotee, Dvija, O Brahmana, Saunaka. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Suta Goswami continued, My dear Brahmana, Kshatta, Vidura, the great devotee of the Lord, achieved transcendental bliss by hearing the narration of the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from the authoritative source of the sage Kausarva, Maitreya, and he was very pleased. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. If anyone wants to derive transcendental pleasure by hearing the pastimes of the Lord, he must hear from the authoritative source, as explained here. Maitreya heard the narration from his bona fide spiritual master, and Vidura also heard from Maitreya. One becomes an authority simply by presenting whatever he has heard from his spiritual master. And one who does not accept a bona fide spiritual master cannot be an authority. This is clearly explained here. If one wants to have transcendental pleasure, he must find a person with authority. It is also stated in the Bhagavatam that simply by hearing from an authoritative source with the ear and the heart, one can relish the pastimes of the Lord. Otherwise, it is not possible. Sanatana Goswami therefore has especially warned that one should not hear anything about the personality of Godhead from the lips of a non-devotee. Non-devotees are considered to be like serpents, as milk is poisoned by a serpent's touch. So, although the narration of the pastimes of the Lord is as pure as milk, when administered by a serpent like non-devotees, it becomes poisonous. Not only does it have no effect in transcendental pleasure, but it is dangerous also. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has warned that no description of the pastimes of the Lord should be heard from the Mayavada or impersonalist school. He has clearly said, Mayavada Bhashya Sunile Haya Sarva Nasha. If anyone hears the Mayavadi's interpretation of the pastimes of the Lord or their interpretation of the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam or any other Vedic scriptures, then he is doomed. Once he is associated with impersonalists, he can never understand the personal feature of the Lord and his transcendental pastimes. Suta Goswami was speaking to the sages headed by Saunaka, and therefore he addressed them in this verse as Dvija, twice born. The sages assembled in Naimisharanya hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Suta Goswami were all Brahmanas, but to acquire the qualifications of a Brahmana is not everything. Merely to be twice born is not perfection. Perfection is attained when one hears the pastimes and lords of the activities of the Lord from a bona fide source. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 34. Anyesham punya slokanam uddhama yasasam satam upasrutya bhaven modaha srivatsan kasya kim punaha. Anyesham of others, punya slokanam of pious reputation, uddhama yasasam whose fame is spread everywhere, satam of the devotees, upasrutya by hearing, bhavet may arise, modaha pleasure, srivatsa Ankasya of the Lord, who bears the mark Srivatsa. Kim Punaha, what to speak of? Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. What to speak of hearing the pastimes of the Lord, whose chest is marked with Srivatsa? People may take transcendental pleasure even in hearing of the works and deeds of the devotees, whose fame is immortal. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Bhagavatam literally means the pastimes of the Lord and Lord's devotees. For example, there are pastimes of Lord and narrations of devotees like Prahlada, Dhruva, and Maharaja Ambarisha. Both pastimes pertain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because the devotees' pastimes are in relation with Him. The Mahabharata, for example, the history of the Pandavas and their activities is sacred because the Pandavas had a direct relation with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 35. Yo Gajendram Jhasagrastam Dhyayantam Charanabhujam Kroshantinam Karenunam Krichrato Mochayadrutam. Yaha, Ihu, Gaja Indram, the king of elephants, Jasa, an alligator, Gristam, attacked by Dhyayantam, meditating upon, Charana, feet, Ambujam, lotus, Krosantinam, while crying, Karenunam, the female elephants, Krichrataha, from danger, Amochayat, delivered, Dhrutam, quickly. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The personality of God had delivered the king of elephants, who was attacked by an alligator and who meditated upon the lotus feet of the Lord. At that time, the female elephants who accompanied him were crying, and the Lord saved them from the impending danger. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The example of the elephant in danger who was saved by the Supreme Lord is especially cited here because even if one is an animal, he can approach the personality of Godhead in devotional service, whereas even a demigod cannot approach the Supreme Person unless he is a devotee. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 36. Tam Sukaradhyam Rudjuber Ananya Saranair Rubihi Kratajna Kona Seveta Duraradhyam Asadhubihi. Tam, unto him, Sukha, easily, Aradhyam, worship, Jubihi, Rujibihi, by the unpretentious, Ananya, no other, Saranai, who take shelter, Rubihi, by men, Kritajnaha, grateful soul, Kaha, what, Na, not, Seveta, would render service, Duraradhyam, impossible to be worshipped, Asadhubhi, by the non-devotees. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. What grateful soul is there who would not render his living service to such a great master as the personality of Godhead? The Lord can be easily pleased by spotless devotees who resort exclusively to him for protection, though the unrighteous man finds it difficult to propitiate him. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Every living entity, especially persons in the human race, must feel grateful for the benedictions offered by the grace of the Supreme Lord. Anyone, therefore, with a simple heart of gratefulness must be Krishna conscious and offer devotional service to the Lord. Those who are actually thieves and rogues do not recognize or acknowledge the benedictions offered to them by the Supreme Lord, and they cannot render him devotional service. Ungrateful persons are those who do not understand how much benefit they are deriving by the arrangement of the Lord. They enjoy the sunshine and moonshine, and they get water free of charge. Yet they do not feel grateful, but simply go on enjoying these gifts of the Lord. Therefore, they must be called thieves and rogues. Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 37. Yo vai hiranyaksha vadam mahadbhutam vikriditam karana sukaratmanaha srunoti gayati anumodate jnasa vimuchyate brahmavadhat apidvijaha. Yaha, he who, why, indeed, Hiranyaksha vadam, of the killing of Hiranyaksha, Maha Adbhutam, most wonderful, Vikriditam, pastime, Karana, for reasons like raising the earth from the ocean, Sukara, appearing in the form of a boar, Atmanaha, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srunoti, hears, Gayati, chants, Anumodate, takes pleasure, Anjasa at once. Vimuchyate becomes freed. Brahma Vadat from the sin of killing a Brahmana. Api even Dvijaha, O Brahmanas. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Brahmanas, anyone who hears, chants, or takes pleasure in the wonderful narration of the killing of the Hiranyaksha demon by the Lord, who appeared as the firstborn in order to deliver the world, is at once relieved of the results of sinful activities, even the killing of a Brahmana. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Since the personality of Godhead is in the absolute position, there is no difference between his pastimes and his personality. Anyone who hears about the pastimes of the Lord associates with the Lord directly, and one who associates directly with the Lord is certainly freed from all sinful activities, even to the extent of the killing of a Brahmana, which is considered the most sinful activity in the material world. One should be very eager to hear about the activities of the Lord from the bona fide source, the pure devotee. If one simply gives oral reception to the narration and accepts the glories of the Lord, then he is qualified. The impersonate philosophers cannot understand the activities of the Lord. They think that all activities are Maya, therefore they are called Mayavadis. Since everything to them is Maya, these narrations are not for them. Some impersonalists are reluctant to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, although many of them are now taking an interest in it just for monetary gain. Actually, however, they have no faith. On the contrary, they describe it in their own way. We should not hear, therefore, from the Mayavadis. We have to hear from Suta Goswami and Maitreya, who actually present the narrations as they are, and only then can we relish the pastimes of the Lord. Otherwise, the effects on the neophyte audience will be poisonous. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, Text 38. Etan Mahapunyam Alam Pavitram Dhanyam Yashasyam Padam Ayur Asisam Pranendriyanam Yudhisaurya Vardhanam Narayano Nite Gatir Angasrinvatam. Eta, this narrative, Mahapunyam, conferring great merit, Alam, very, Pavitram, sacred, Dhanyam, conferring wealth, Yasasyam, bearing fame, Padam, the receptacle, Ayuhu, of longevity, Asisham, of the objects of one's desire, Prana, of the vital organs, Indriyanam, of the organs of action, Yudhi, on the field of battle, Saurya, the strength, Vardhanam, increasing, Narayanaha, Lord Narayana, Ante, at the end of life, Gatihi, shelter, Anga, O dear Saunaka, Srinvatam, of those who listen. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This most sacred narrative confers extraordinary merit, wealth, fame, longevity, and all the objects of one's desire. On the field of battle, it promotes the strength of one's vital organs and organs of action. One who listens to it at the last moment of his life is transferred to the supreme abode of the Lord. Oh dear Saunaka, purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Devotees are generally attracted by the narratives of the pastimes of the Lord, and even though they do not prosecute austerities or meditation, this very process of hearing attentively about the pastimes of the Lord will endow them with innumerable benefits such as wealth, fame, longevity, and other desirable aims of life. If one continues to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, which is full of narratives of the pastimes of the Lord, at the end of his life, one is sure to be transferred to the eternal transcendental abode of the Lord. Thus, hearers are benefited both ultimately and for as long as they are in the material world. That is the supreme, sublime result of engaging in devotional service. The beginning of devotional service is to spare some time and listen to Srimad Bhagavatam from the right source. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also recommended 5 items of devotional service, namely to serve the devotees of the Lord, to chant Hare Krishna, to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, to worship the deity of the Lord, and to live in a place of pilgrimage. Just performing these 5 activities can deliver one from the miserable condition of material life. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the 3rd canto, 19th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Killing of Demon Hiranyaksha. Chapter 20, Conversation between Maitreya and Vidura. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 1. Saunaka Uvacha Mahim Pratistam Adyasya Saute Swayam Bhuvo Manuhu Kani Anvatistad Dvarani Margaya Vara Janmanam. Saunaka Uvacha. said Mahim, the earth, Pratistam, situated, Adhyasya, having secured, Saute, O Suta Goswami, Swayambhuvu, Swayambhuva, Manuhu, Manu, Kani, what, Anvatistat, performed, Dwarani, ways, Margaya, to get out, Avara, later, Janmanam, of those to be born. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Saunaka inquired, O Suta Goswami, after the earth was again situated in its orbit, what did Swayambhuva Manu do to show the path of liberation to persons who were to take birth later on? Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The appearance of the Lord as the firstborn incarnation occurred during the time of Swayambhuva Manu, whereas the present age is in the period of Vaivatsava Manu. Each Manu's period lasts 72 times the cycle of 4 ages, and one cycle of ages equals to 4.3 billion solar years. Thus, 4.3 billion years into 72 solar years is the reign of one Manu. In each Manu's period, there are many changes in many ways, and there are 14 Manus within one day of Brahma. It is understood here that Manu creates scriptural regulations for the salvation of the conditioned souls who come to the material world for material enjoyment. The Lord is so kind that any soul who wants to enjoy in this material world is given full facility for enjoyment, and at the same time he is shown the path of salvation. Saunaka Rishi therefore inquired from Suta Goswami, what did Swayambhuva Manu do after the reinstatement of the earth in its orbital situation? Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 2. Kshattamaha Bhagavataha Krishnasya Kantikaha Suhrat Yastatyajagrajam Krishne Sapatyam Aghavan iti Shatta Vidura Mahabhagavataha, a great devotee of the Lord, Krishnasya, of Lord Krishna, Ekantikaha, an alloyed devotee, Suhrat, intimate friend, Yaha, he who, Tatyaja, abandoned, Agrajam, his elder brother, King Dhritarashtra, Krishna, toward Krishna, Sa Apatyam, along with this 100 sons, Agavan, offender, iti, thus, translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Saunaka Rishi inquired about Vidura, who was a great devotee and friend of Lord Krishna, and who gave up the company of his elder brother because of the later, along with his sons, played tricks against the desires of the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The incident referred to here is that Vidura left the protection of his elder brother Dhritarashtra, went travelling everywhere to sacred places, and met Maitreya at Haridwar. Saunaka Rishi here inquires about the topics of the conversation between Maitreya Rishi and Vidura. Vidura's qualification was that he was not only a friend of Lord but also a great devotee. When Krishna tried to stop the war and mitigate the misunderstanding between cousin brothers, they refused to accept his counsel. Therefore, Kshatta or Vidura was unsatisfied with them, and he left the palace. As a devotee, Vidura showed by example that anywhere that Krishna is not honored is a place unfit for human habitation. A devotee may be tolerant regarding his own interests, but he should not be tolerant when there is a misbehavior toward the Lord or the Lord's devotee. Here the word Agavan is very significant, for it indicates that the Kauravas, Dhritarashtra's sons, lost the war because of being sinful in disobeying the instructions of Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 3. Dvaipayanat anavaro mahitve tasya dehaja sarvatma nasritaha krishnam tatparam shapi anuvrataha. Dvaipayanavat, from Vyasadeva. Anavaraha, in no way inferior. Mahitve, in greatness. Tasya, his, Vyasas. Deha jaha, born of his body. Sarva atmana, with all his heart. Sritaha, took shelter. Krishnam, Lord Krishna. Tatparan, those devoted to him. Cha and Api also Anuvritaha followed. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vidura was born from the body of Vedavyasa and was not less than he. Thus he accepted the lotus feet of Krishna wholeheartedly and was attached to his devotees. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The history of Vidura is that he was born of a Sudra mother, but his seminal father was Vyasadeva. Thus he was not less than Vyasadeva in any respect. Since he was born of a great father who was supposed to be an incarnation of Narayana and who composed all the Vedic literatures, Vidura was also a great personality. He accepted Krishna as his worshipable Lord and followed his instructions wholeheartedly. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 4. Kim Anvaprachan Maitreyam Virajasthirtha Sevaya Upagamya Kusavarta Asinam Tattvittamam. Kim, what? Anvaprachat inquired Maitreyam from the sage Maitreya. Virajaha Svidura, who was without material contamination. Tirtha Sevaya, by visiting sacred places. Upagamya, having met. Kusavarte, at Kusavarta. Haridwar or Haridwar. Asinam, who was abiding. Tattvittamam, the foremost knower of the science of spiritual life. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vidura was purified of all passion by wandering in sacred places, and at last he reached Haridwar, where he met the great sage who knew the science of spiritual life, and he inquired from him. Saunaka Rishi therefore asked, what more did Vidura inquire about Maitreya? Inquire from Maitreya. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Here the words Virajajas Tirtha Sevaya refer to Vidura, who was completely cleansed of all contamination by traveling to places of pilgrimage. In India, there are hundreds of sacred places of pilgrimage, of which Prayaga, Haridwar, Vrindavana, and Rameshwaram are considered principal. After leaving his home, which was full of politics and diplomacy, Vidura wanted to purify himself by traveling to all the sacred places, which are so situated that anyone who goes there automatically becomes purified. This is especially true in Vrindavana. Any person may go there, and even if he is sinful, he will at once contact an atmosphere of spiritual life and will automatically chant the names of Krishna and Radha. That we have actually seen and experienced. It is recommended in the Shastras that after retiring from active life and accepting the Vanaprastha retired order, one should travel everywhere to places of pilgrimage in order to purify himself. Vidura completely discharged his duty, and at last he reached Kusavarta or Haridwar, where the sage Maitreya was sitting. Another significant point is that one must go to sacred places not only to take bath there, but to search out great sages like Maitreya and take instructions from them. If one does not do so, his travelling to places of pilgrimage is simply a waste of time. Narottama Dasa Thakura, a great acharya of the Vaishnava sect, has for the present forbidden us to go to such places of pilgrimage, because in this age the times have so changed. A sincere person may have a different impression on seeing the behavior of the present residents of the pilgrimage sites. He has recommended that instead of taking the trouble to travel to such places, one should concentrate his mind on Govinda, and that will help him. Of course, to concentrate one's mind on Govinda in any place is a path meant for those who are the most spiritually advanced. It is not for ordinary persons. Ordinary persons may still derive benefit from traveling to holy places like Prayaga, Madura, Vrindavan, and Haridwar. It is recommended in this verse that one find a person who knows the science of God, or Tattvavit. Tattvavit means one who knows the absolute truth. There are many pseudo-transcendentalists even at places of pilgrimage. Such men are always present, and one has to be intelligent enough to find the actual person to be consulted. Then one's attempt to progress by traveling to different places will be successful. One has to be freed from all contamination, and at the same time he has to find a person who knows the science of Krishna. Krishna helps a sincere person, as stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Guru Krishna Prasade. By the mercy of the spiritual master and Krishna, one attains the path of salvation. Devotional service. He once sincerely searches for spiritual salvation. Then Krishna, being situated in everyone's heart, gives him the intelligence to find a suitable spiritual master. By the grace of a spiritual master like Maitreya, one gets a proper instruction and advances in his spiritual life. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 5. Tayo samvadato sutta pravrat pravrata pravrata hi amalakata apo ganga iva gnir hare padambuja srayaha. Tayo, while the two, Maitreya and Vidura, Samvadautaha were conversing, Suta, O Suta, Pravattaha arose, Hai, certainly, Amalaha, spotless, Kataha, narrations, Apaha, waters, Gangaha of the river Ganges, Iva, like, Agha, Agnihi, vanquishing all sins, Hare of the Lord, Pada Ambuja, the lotus feet, Asrayaha, taking shelters. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Saunaka inquired about the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. There must have been many narrations of those spotless pastimes of the Lord. The hearing of such narrations is exactly like bathing in the water of the Ganges, for it can free from one from all sinful reactions. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The water of the Ganges is purified because it pours forth from the lotus feet of the Lord. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita is as good as the water of the Ganges because it is spoken from the mouth of Supreme Lord. So it is with any topic on the pastimes of the Lord or the characteristics of his transcendental activities. The Lord is absolute. There is no difference between his words, his perspiration, or his pastimes. The water of the Ganges, the narrations of the pastimes, and the words spoken by him are all on the absolute platform, and thus taking shelter of any one of them is equally good. Srila Gurupa Goswami has enunciated that anything in relation with Krishna is on the transcendental platform. If we can dovetail all our activities in relation with Krishna, then we do not stand on the material platform but always on the spiritual platform. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 6. Thana kritaya bhadram te kirtano yodhara karmanaha rasajna ko nutrapyeta hari leela amrutam piban. Taha, those talks, naha, to us, kirtaya, narrate, bhadram te, may all good come unto you, kirtanya, should be chanted, udara, liberal, karmanaha, activities, rasagna, a devotee who can appreciate mellow taste, kaha, who knew, indeed, tripyeta, would feel satisfied, Hari Leela Amritam, the nectar of the pastimes of the Lord, Piban, drinking. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Suta Goswami, all good fortune to you. Please narrate the activities of the Lord, which are all magnanimous and worth glorifying. What sort of devotee can be satiated by hearing the nectarian pastimes of the Lord? Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The narration of the pastimes of the Lord, which are always enacted on the transcendental platform, should be received with all respect by devotees. Those who are actually on the transcendental platform are never satiated by hearing the continuous narration of the pastimes of the Lord. For example, if any self-realized soul reads from Bhagavad Gita, he will never feel satiated. The narrations of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam may be read thousands and thousands of times, and still without fail, new aspects of the subject matter will be relished by the devotee. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 7. Emam ugrasvara prista rishibir naimi sayanai bhagavati arpidat yatmas tan aha sruyatam iti. Evam, thus, ugrasravaha, Suta Goswami, prasta, being asked, rishibhihi, by the sages, naimisharanyai, Naimisa Ayanai, those who were assembled in the forest of Naimisha, Bhagavati, unto the Lord, Arpita, dedicated, Adhyatmaha, is mind, Tan, to them, Aha, said, Sruyatam, just hear, iti, thus, translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. On being asked to speak by the great sages of Naimisaranya, the son of Roma Arshana, Suta Goswami, whose mind was absorbed in the transcendental pastimes of the Lord said, "Please hear what I shall now speak." Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 8. Suta Uvacha Hare Drita Krodha Tano Swamayaya Nima Nisamya Gaur Udaranam Rasalatat Talat Ililam Hiranyaksham Avajnanatam Sanjata Ruso Munim Aha Bharataha. Suta Vacha, Suta said, Hare of the Lord, Dhrita, who had assumed Krodha of a boar, Tano body, Swamayaya by his divine potency, Nisamya having heard, Go of the earth, Udaranam uplifting, Rasalatalat from the bottom of the ocean, Leelam sport, Hiranyaksham the demon Hiranyaksha, Avajnaya neglectfully, Hatam killed, Sanjata Harshaha being overjoyed, Munim to the sage Maitreya Aha said, Bharata Vidura. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Suta Goswami continued, Vidura, the descendant of Bharata, was delighted to hear the story of the Lord, who, having assumed by his divine potency the form of a boar, had enacted the sport of lifting the earth from the bottom of the ocean and indifferently killing the demon Hiranyaksha. Vidura then spoke to the sage as follows. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. It is stated here that the Lord assumed the form of a boar by his own potency. His form is not actually the form of a conditioned soul. A conditioned soul is forced to accept a particular type of body by the higher authority of material laws. But here it is clearly said that the Lord was not forced to accept the form of a boar by the external power. In Bhagavad Gita, the same fact is confirmed. When the Lord descends to this earth, he assumes a form by his internal potency. The form of the Lord, therefore, can never consist of material energy. The Mayavada version that when Brahman assumes a form, the form is accepted from Maya is not acceptable, because although Maya is superior to the conditioned soul, she is not superior to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She is under the control of Supreme Godhead. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Maya is under his superintendence. Maya cannot overcome the Lord. The Mayavada idea that the living entity is the supreme absolute truth but has become covered by Maya is invalid, because Maya cannot be so great that it can cover the supreme. The covering capacity can be employed in the part and parcel of Brahman, not on the supreme Brahman. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 9. Vidura Uvacha Prajapati Patih Srastva Praja Sarge Prajapatin Kim Arabata Me Brahman Prabruhi Avyakta Margavet. Vidura Uvacha, Vidura said, Prajapati Patihi, Lord Brahma, Sristva, after creating Praja Sarge, for the purpose of creating living beings. Prajapatin, the Prajapatis. Kim, what? Arabata, started. To me, Brahman, O holy sage. Prabruhi, tell. Avyakta Margavid, knower of that which we do not know. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Vidura said, since you know of matters inconceivable to us, tell me, O holy sage, what did Brahma do to create living beings after involving the Prajapatis, the progenitors of living beings? Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Significant here is the word Avyakta Margavet, one who knows that which is beyond our perception. To know matters beyond one's perception, one has to learn from a superior authority in the line of disciplic succession. Just to know who is our father is beyond our perception. For that, the mother is authority. Similarly, we have to understand everything beyond our perception from the authority who actually knows. The first Avyakta Margavit or authority is Brahma, and the next authority in disciplic succession is Narada. Maitreya Rishi belongs to that disciplic succession, so he is also Avyakta Margavit. Anyone in the bona fide line of disciplic succession is Avyakta Margavit, a personality who knows that which is beyond ordinary perception. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 10. ये मरीचि आधयो विप्रा यस्तु स्वयंभुवो मनुः ते वै ब्राह्मण आदेशात् कथम एतात अभावयन्. Ye those Marichi Adayaha, great sages, headed by Marichi, Vipra Brahmanas, Yaha who, tu indeed, Swayambhuvaha Manu, the Swayambhuva Manu, they, why indeed Brahmana of Lord Brahmana, Brahma, Adesat by the order, Katham how, Ita this universe, Abhyavan, evolved, Abhavayan, evolved. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vidura inquired, how did Prajapati, such progenitors of living entities as Marichi and Swayambhuva Manu, create according to the instruction of Brahma, and how did they evolve this manifested universe? How did they evolve this manifested universe? Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 11. Swadvitiyaha kim asrajan swantantara uta karmashu aho svit samhataha sarva idam sma samakalpayan. Sadvitiyaha, with their wives, Kim, whether, Asrajan, created, Swatantraha, remaining independent, Uta, or Karmasu, on their actions, Aho, Svit, or else Samhataha, jointly, Survey, all the Prajapatis, Idam, this, Sma Samakalpayan, produced. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Did they evolve the creation in conjunction with their respective wives? Did they remain independent in their action, or did they all jointly produce it? Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 12. Maitreya Uvacha Devaina Durvitarkena Parenani Mishena Cha Jatakshobhat Bhagavato Mahan Asid Gunatrayat. Maitreya Uvacha, Maitreya said, Daivena, by superior management, known as destiny, Durvitarkena, beyond empiric speculation, Parena, by Mahavishnu, Animishena, by the potency of eternal time, Cha, and Jatakshobhat, the equilibrium was agitated, Bhagavataha, of the personality of Godhead, Mahan, the total material elements, the Mahatattva, Asit, were produced, Gunatrayat, from the three modes of nature. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maitreya said, when the equilibrium of the combination of the three modes of nature was agitated by the unseen activity of the living entity, by Mahavishnu, and by the force of time, the total material elements were produced. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The cause of the material creation is described here very lucidly. The first cause is Daiva, or the destiny of the conditioned soul. The material creation exists for the conditioned soul who wanted to become a false lord for sense enjoyment. One cannot trace out the history of when the conditioned soul first desired to lord it over material nature. But in Vedic literature, we always find that the material creation is meant for the sense enjoyment of the conditioned soul. There is a nice verse which says that the sum and substance of the conditioned soul enjoyment is that as soon as he forgets his primary duty to render service to the Lord, he creates an atmosphere of sense enjoyment which is called Maya. This is the cause of and that is the cause of material creation. Another word used here is durviktarakena. No one can argue that about when and how the conditioned soul became desirous of sense enjoyment. But the cause is there. Material nature is an atmosphere meant only for the sense enjoyment for the conditioned soul, and it is created by the personality of Godhead. It is mentioned here that in the beginning of the senses, it is mentioned here that in the beginning of the creation, the material nature or Prakriti is agitated by the personality of Godhead Vishnu. There are three Vishnus. There are three Vishnus mentioned. One is Mahavishnu, another is Garbhodakasai Vishnu, and the third is Kshirodakasai Vishnu. The first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam discusses all these three verses, Vishnus. And here also it is confirmed that Vishnu is the cause of creation. From Bhagavad Gita also we learn that Prakriti begins to work and is still working under Krishna's or Vishnu's glance of superintendence. But the Supreme Personality Godhead is unchangeable. One should not mistakenly think that because the creation emanates from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has therefore transformed into this material cosmic manifestation. He exists in his personal form always, but the cosmic manifestation takes place by his inconceivable potency. The working of that energy are difficult to comprehend, but it is understood from Vedic literature that the conditioned soul creates his own destiny and is offered a particular body by the laws of nature under the superintendence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always accompanies him as Paramatma. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 13. Rajaha pradana mahatas trilingo dhaivat choditat jata sasarja bhutadir vayad adini panchasaha. Raja Pradhanat, in which the element of rajas or passion predominates, Mahataha, from the Mahat Tattva, Trilinga of three kinds, Daiva Choditat, impelled by superior authority, Jataha was born, Sasarja, evolved, Bhuta Adihi, the false ego, origin of the material elements, Vayat, the ether, Adini, beginning with, Panchasaha, in groups of five. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. As impelled by the destiny of the Jiva, the false ego, which is of three kinds, evolved from the Mahat Tattva, in which the element of Rajas predominates. From the ego, in turn, evolved many groups of five principles. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The primordial matter or Prakriti, material nature, company or consisting of three modes of passion, consisting of three modes, generates four power groups of five. The first group is called elementary and consists of earth, water, fire, air and ether. The second group of five is called tanmatra, referring to the subtle elements, sense objects, sound, touch, form, taste and smell. The third group is the five sense organs for acquiring knowledge: eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. The fourth group is the five working senses: speech, hands, feet, anus and genitals. Some say that there are five groups of five. One group is the sense objects, one is the five elements, one is the five sense organs for acquiring knowledge, another is the senses for working, and the fifth group is the five deities who control these divisions. Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, Text 14 will continue from tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा श्रील प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा श्रील गुरुदेवा श्री गुरु चरणा पद्मा केवल भक्ति सद्मा चरणा पद्मा केवल भक्ति सद्मा बंदो मोहि सावधान माते अवदान माते बंदो मोहि सावधान माते बंदो मोहि सावधान जहार प्रसादे भाई ए भवतोरिया जाय हर प्रसादे भाई ए भवतोरिया जाय कृष्ण प्राप्ति होय जहाँ होय ते प्राप्ति होय जहाँ होय ते कृष्ण प्राप्ति होय जहाँ होय ते कृष्ण प्राप्ति होय जहाँ होय ते गुरुमुख पद्मावख्या चिते ते कोरियाख्या गुरुमुख पद्मावख्या चिते ते कोरियाख्या अरणा कोरी हो मने आशा अरणा कोरी हो मने अरणा कोरी हो मने आशा अरणा कोरी हो मने आशा श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति ये प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा 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 चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिल जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चक्षुधाम दिल जे जन्मे जन्मे दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते ओ प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते होते अविद्या विनाश ओ वेदे गाय जहाँ रचरितो वेदे गाय जहाँ रचरितो रचरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु गुरु करुणा सिंधु ओ श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर लोकेनाथ लोकेर जीवाना लोकेनाथ लोकेर जीवाना ओ लोकेनाथ लोकेर जीवाना नाथ लोकेर जीवाना ओ हा प्रभु कोरो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया प्रभु कोरो दया देहो मोरे पद ओ हा प्रभु कोरो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया प्रभु कोरो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया ओ हाँ प्रभु कोरो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया हाँ प्रभु कोरो दया देहो मोरे छाया ए बेजाश गुशुक त्रिभुवाना ए बेजाश गुशुक त्रिभुवाना ए बेजाश गुशुक त्रिभुवाना बेजाश गुशुक त्रिभुवाना प्रभुपाद लोहिलो शराना प्रभुपाद लोहिलो शराना श्रीला प्रभुपाद पतित पवाना श्रीला प्रभुपाद पतित पवाना हो जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा श्रीला प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा श्रीला प्रभुपदा नमा ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीपदे भक्ति वेदान्ता स्वामीति नामिने नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले भक्ति वेदान्ता स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्यता देशतारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे प्रवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्यता देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा नित्यानंद द्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य चैतन्य नित्यानंद गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. जय ओम विष्णुपदा परहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तराष्ट श्री श्रीमद हिजवान के शिला भक्ति प्रदान स्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपदा परहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तराष्ट श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, जय द्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपा गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा धाम की जय, नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय, सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai। जय ओम विष्णु। The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord birth after birth. From him, ecstatic prema emanates. By him, ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Loknath Goswami, O Master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Your frame is spread all over the three worlds. We take the shelter of Shri.